Massive thank you, first of all, to EA for giving me access to this game a day early. So I thought we'd take a little look around and then do some My Team career. So, of course, new to this year's game is my F1 Live and Supercars. And I mean, this is basically F1 Live. It's just a little place where your friends can come and visit, check out your cars, and you can customize obviously your driver. You can see you've got your casual wear, which is seen in the menus, and when you visit other people, and then you've got your race wear, which obviously you wear in your online races, etc, etc. Customize your own place. Yes, I know this was a lot of people off at when it was announced, and it's going to be a typical EA cash grab. With the Champions Edition, you get all of these for free, apart from this one, which is unlocked in the Podium Pass. Same with everything going through. There is obviously stuff you can purchase in there should you choose, but a lot of it is free just from playing the game. Supercars are obviously part of the game now as well. You can drive these in specific mode, which is Pirelli Hot Laps. We'll take a look at that, and you can drive them in time trial. So see the 6 that I've got picked out here: the McLaren 720S, the Aston Martin DB11, Ferrari Roma, the Mercedes AMG GT in black, and McLaren Artura, and the Ferrari F8. There is also a couple of others that I don't have, so you only get 6 slots. You unlock these just by playing the game. Again, you unlock supercar tokens based on how much you're playing the game, get them based on miles driven during the game. So these are all unlocked free as well. We'll just have a quick flick through. They do have a pretty good selection at the moment, and I've driven these quite a bit already actually. In the time trial mode, you can even drive the safety cars this year, which is a lot of fun as well. Yeah, obviously this does keep popping up at the moment. It's not fully released yet, so we are still not quite, at the final build. There should still be a patch coming tomorrow when it's initially released. You can see, obviously, AIs have visited me, but once you start playing online and meeting other people, you can go and visit their F1 Live. So, say if I played against you, we could be able to visit you here. We see your selection of cars, how you set up your place in there. It's just, I think, a little fun addition. I think a lot of people took it far too seriously when it was announced. It is just a bit of fun, really. The Podium Pass as well is live, and start off, just have a quick flick through this, what you can unlock there. So obviously, same as last year, really. You got your liveries, your radio calls, suits, gloves, helmets, decals, stuff of that nature. But obviously, like I mentioned, get stuff for your F1 Life unlocked in this as well. You've got your seat in there, furniture, obviously your emotes for when you go out onto the podium. So yeah, all of this is able to be unlocked for free, really, unless you buy the Podium Pass itself, which I believe is 2,500 coins. It's not out until tomorrow. I have early access thanks to EA being part of their creator network. So we get our hands on it a little bit early. Typical, obviously, challenges, your item shop, same as last year's, and the same really sort of stuff there as you would expect. Yes, earlier than early, definitely. I believe it's due to be released at midnight Central Time tonight. Obviously, it all depends on where you live. I think it's 6 AM UK time. I do have it pulled up somewhere, but but where I've put it, I don't know. Yeah, Pirelli Hot Laps, something new. You can play these throughout your career mode as well. So these come up before every race. Each race has its own individual challenges that you can get. So I played this early because I'm part of the EA Creator Network, so I've been given access to the game early. You get the Champions Edition, which is out tomorrow. That's the one that you can play 3 days early. And then you get the Standard Edition, which is out on Friday. I don't know if that's the thing on Steam. I play on Xbox. I'm on the Xbox at the moment. So I wouldn't be able to tell you, unfortunately. But yeah, the Champions Edition is out tomorrow, Standard on Friday. It might be out a day early on Steam. I wouldn't be able to tell you, unfortunately. You have 6 different events available throughout the Pirelli Hot Laps. You've got your average speed zone. So that takes a section of a track, and you get given a challenge, a target speed. You've got to try and beat the speed through that. If you go off the track, then it's invalidated. You get 3 attempts. Drift, which is, as it sounds, if you played the Forza games, then you know what the drift challenges is. You've got a target to beat. You get points based on the length of the drift, the speed, the angle, all that sort of stuff in a specific time limit. Checkpoint challenge, which was in the game a couple of years back with the classic cars. You start off with, say, a minute. You have to drive around the track. Every time you go through a checkpoint, you gain extra time. You've got to get a certain distance around to be able to pass, basically. The autocross is sort of an agility challenge. So in these you have a set of gates to try and get through. A lot of them are like slaloms, and you have a time limit to get through them. If you miss a gate or you hit a cone in the gate, you get a time penalty. And the time attack, didn't talk about that one. Certain amount of time, complete a certain amount of laps. For example, you've got, I don't know, 8 minutes to do 3 laps. It obviously varies track per track based on the length of the track, average lap time, that sort of thing. But they are relatively comfortable as well to be able to do them. I mean, if I can do them, then anyone can, because I am terrible at this game. And then the final one is, personally my favourite, is the Rival Duel. So 3 rounds, same car as the AI, different starting positions. You've got to try and win as many rounds as possible. So you can see I've done a couple of these already on the Xbox, and I assume it's going to be the same on other platforms. You get an achievement for completing one of each type of these. And like I say, you don't have to come in here and do them individually. You can do if you want to. But if you're playing through either a driver career or a My Team career, you get these options before a race. So in Drive Career, you can select one from each race event, apart from Bahrain. That's the only one that doesn't have any. You gain 1,000 acclaim for completing them, or you can just skip them completely if you don't want to do that. Same for My Team, you gain 1,000 team acclaim, and I believe it's $1 million. So let's go and see how much I suck in a supercar, shall we? So, like I say, you can see all the supercars available in the game. We'll go for the Mercedes-AMG safety car. I forgot what it was called for a second then. And let's go for Monza, because why not? So I have done a lap or 2 on here already. You can see 154.8. So I'm currently 3rd out of 4. I'll take that. Also, make sure to let me know what the audio is like, because it sounds pretty loud to me, but I have turned it down a bit. So, obviously, this is your standard TV pod camera angle for the supercars, but you can obviously cycle through the different camera angles as well. So if you want to be in the cockpit, you can. If If you want to have a chase, you can. We'll leave it on chase for this lap. But yeah, it definitely feels different to play than last year's game. There's definitely an improvement to the handling and physics, especially with the F1 cars themselves. I do also play with auto braking assist on because, like I say, I am terrible at this game. But yeah, I mean, it feels better to play. Obviously, there is adaptive AI in this year's game as well. So if you're someone that is brand new to the series, you want to pick up the game and try it out, and you're worried about, you know, getting destroyed every race or making it too easy, adaptive AI could be your thing. And it comes in two different settings, one of which is basically it's set to a certain level. If they get too far ahead, they'll automatically slow down to allow you to get back into it. And another one is, you know, your full adaptive AI. It goes based on your performances. So if you are really struggling, it will slow the AI down for you. If you're doing better than expected, then they'll speed up. Which I think is a pretty neat addition, something that a lot of people have been asking for quite a few years. That's a terrible corner. And yeah, I mean, like I say, we don't care too much. We're just going to keep going. Truck, what's up, my man? How are you doing? I'm not aiming to be quick or good at the moment. We're just showing off the supercars. So I think it's a nice little game at the moment. There's not much on the surface that looks like it's changed for the career modes, but once you start playing, you'll see that things have changed quite a bit in terms of sort of how the R&D works and how the development events happen. I've got it early because I'm part of the EA Creative Network, so this is coming to you thanks to EA. They've given me a code to be able to get my hands on the game early. So that's what we're doing. We're having a little early look before release of the Champions Edition tomorrow. And I'm glad to hear it, Truck. You're still travelling around. We've cocked that up again as well. Okay, that apparently did not validate the lap. I'll take that. I do eventually, as this goes on, because I do want to make this a regular appearance on the channel, we are going to eventually start taking some of the assists off. I have already disabled the racing line. That is terrible once again. The line that you can see on track at the moment is my fastest lap that I've done, so you can see what line I took through each corner then. West Coast now near Southern Oregon. Nice, nice. It feels like it's been ages since I last spoke to you. So, I mean, you can see how much I do suck on this game. But I'm enjoying it, I'm having fun. Obviously, you can jump in at any point on the time trial mode. You can change your track, you can change your car, you can switch between F1, F2, flip through all the supercars, change your weather, all of that whenever you want. So, like I say, I can just as easy jump into a Aston Martin F1 car in Italy and here till September, not able to count as much as I usually do. It sucks, but as long as you're staying safe. So F1 wise, I don't think I've done a lap on here. I have not, but you can see the times on there as well. We'll give it a flying lap, shall we? I can't drive that camera though on an F1 car. and these are notably louder than the supercars. How is the weather on the west coast, specifically Southern Oregon? Should help if I deploy my DRS onto it. So it has obviously the new cars as well, the different looks for the cars, the different models, and with it a different handling model as well into the game. You certainly can't ride the curves as much as you could in previous games, because obviously they've got a lower ride height. I messed that chicane up big time as well. You will find quite often that if you ride some of the curves, you will spin out or you'll get stuck on them and go absolutely flying. Oh, 105 Fahrenheit there yesterday. Yeah, I will pass on that, thank you very much. It's been pretty warm here recently, but nowhere near that warm. This is why you shouldn't read and drive as well. We've had a bit of stormy weather recently. But yeah, I certainly pass on 105. Okay, 8th, yeah, I'll take that. I don't know if you can... No, you can't go to someone's F1 Live from here, unfortunately. But yeah, that's just a little quick look at that. 40.5 Celsius. Yeah, definitely pass on that one. I think we've been looking at, I think the most this week was mid to high 20s, I think. And that was a bit too much as well, so one new little thing that's come to the game this year as well is VR support. If you have VR capable headset, the Valve Index, Oculus, that sort of things, you can play VR. I don't have one of them, so I can't play VR for you, but I imagine that could be a lot of fun. And they've updated the circuits that have changed as well in real life. I don't know how well you can see, such as Albert Park, it's changed. You've got the new layout there. Yas Marina has changed as well. Obviously, they've taken out the chicane going into the straight. Caught me out the first time I played on it because I completely forgot about it. So yeah, that was fun. And of course, Miami is added, which it's a lot of fun to drive as well. Actually, it is a lot of fun to drive. Not only that hot here, but it's one of the hot places in the state. I mean, it's bloody hot. So let's just jump back into supercar. Let's go with a Ferrari F8 and let's go for a lap of Miami. So I haven't set a time on this in a supercar. Not normally that hot. Yeah, I've read that. Still, I suppose at least you've got aircon, right? You have got aircon. You're not suffering without. completely ignore the delta on this lap because it's against the default Ghost, which is very, very slow. Again, if I think it's very slow, then you know how slow it is. Do you have AC and shade sides that helps? Yeah, that I can imagine does help. Does it get windy? It's like breeze to cool it down, or I suppose it depends on the type of heat as well. Obviously, our supercars don't have DRS systems, so we don't need to worry about the DRS zones. Breezy, which makes it feel okay. Yeah, fair enough. Like I say, it all depends really on the type of heat. For you Miami Dolphins fans, there is your look at the Hard Rock Stadium in the game. Okay, well I'm 4th on the leaderboard, I will take that. Let's see if we can go any quicker. Not like that we can't, that's a lot of understeer. And that's what I mean by the curb as well. It does affect the supercars just as much as the F1 cars. You can very easily slide out if you get them wrong, and I've taken that corner dreadfully. That is... don't do what I do, basically. You know, I sort of hope I can look back on this after a few months of playing the game and see how much I've improved. That is my plan. Like I say, at the moment we're playing with virtually, I think the only assist that I don't have on are steering assist and the racing line. No, the game, full game release, well, the Champions Edition releases tomorrow, the Standard Edition is out on Friday, but I'm part of the EA Creator Network, so I get early access. I get it about 14 hours before everyone else. There we go. So that's what I was talking about earlier on. You can see on that left-hand side of the screen, Supercar token unlocked. You get them by basically driving around. I think if you do a certain amount of miles in Supercar, a certain amount of miles in the F1 and F2, and you will unlock Supercar tokens, so obviously you can go and get the supercars available to drive and show in your F1 Live. So I know it was a worry when it was first announced that you were going to have to buy them, and you know it was just a cash grab, but you don't have to do that at all. it's a lot of fun. I've played F1 games in the past. I'm an F1 fan, but as you can probably tell, I'm not a great racer at all. But yeah, it's from what I've played so far, it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this game. Are you in the UK? If so, then yeah, I think it's 6 tomorrow morning. I appreciate that, Truck. Go and have a good day. Don't get too warm. Look after yourself as well. The Netherlands. Okay, so yeah, then you are. Then I think that's right. I do have it pulled, but I've got it noted down somewhere. But I've got a mass of notes on my desk and everywhere. So, obviously, 2-player career does return as well. Let me. Just double check. So it's 7 AM British time. So then yeah, it'll be 8 AM. There, yeah, of course. So obviously, once you load in, you come to this screen. Depending on what your last mode played was, obviously this will be different. I played a bit of my team already, so that's why it's there for me. Your brand shop is the only thing really that you have to spend on, is just cosmetics for your character, using obviously the Bitcoin, different brands in there. I personally won't be buying any of them. Then you get your F1 Life here, so you can visit other people's as well, have a quick flick through their different screens. You can customize it all yourself. They see there, you can customize your race wear as well. Your sofas, your furniture. This is all free. You unlock this through your Podium Pass, all that customization. Then you get the same sort, standard stuff from before. You can design your liveries. I think most of these are out already. I've unlocked a couple from the Podium Pass, and that one is the Champions Edition, the New Era, and the Miami, I believe. That one's from the Podium Pass, and I think that one was the Podium Pass one as well. But your badges, driver profile, the same as last year. You can have 6 supercars in your bays, which other people can see when they visit you. But this is all of them available on launch. So, I mean, there's a decent selection, including the safety cars for the Champions Edition as well. Your virtual showroom, which again you can just look at, look around your cars. You get your little cinematic views. Your trophies. Your theatre, obviously showing you past races. And once people visit you, you can see that they visited you. At the moment, they're all AI because obviously nobody has visited me yet, because none of my friends have the game yet. The communicating online services keep popping up itself. It's a beta thing still at the moment that should be fixed, I believe, for tomorrow's release. Yeah, it looks a lot better. To me, it feels a lot better as well. As like I say, as someone that struggles with the game, it feels easy to pick up and play. Now, if you're a higher skilled player, I don't know how they find it, because I'm definitely not one of them. But it does feel like they've had a bigger budget. You get your free slots once again for your single player career, which is a driver and my team. Driver, you've got the same, F2, skip to F1. My team, this is a new thing for this year. You can select where you want to be. So you start as a newcomer. You start with no money, no facilities, and the lowest team acclaim. Midfield challenger, which is team acclaim 6, 5 million, and level 1 and all facilities. And obviously, if you want to jump straight in and be one of the front packs, you can go Championship Contender, which I think is a very nice touch. Very nice touch. I've already crashed, Wafer. I've already crashed. Yes, I will show the F1 cars as well. So yeah, they've added that in there. That's a nice little touch as well. Eventual showroom, that's what I wanted. Yes, two players only. Two-player is the same as last year's, so you can have where you lock to the same team, or you can go to different teams, but it is still driver only. I crashed a very expensive supercar, Wafer. Again, this still isn't the full release yet. We've not had the final patch, so that will change as well. I could just I can change the car for that. So I have to admit, I really like the look of the Ferrari this year as well. Oh yeah, there's definitely an uptake in visuals. Yeah, they've definitely been updated from early access, and there is still obviously updates to come. The Williams steering wheel. There you go. You see, I didn't play the initial early access because that was locked for PC only and on Xbox. So this is my first look at the game. Two-player career, I can. So there you go. You got your contracts where you can go to anyone else, or your co-op where they will follow you as a teammate. But yeah, it's still the same. Actually, you can customize your length. It's still the same there. And unfortunately, you can't change the order of the tracks. Yeah, we do. We'll call that alpha access. You can specify, obviously, assists. Assists are still the same. These are basically all the same as well. Not much has changed in these settings until you get to here.
Drop the screw!
I appreciate the follow, thank you very much. Any some tracks get added post-launch? No, we've not been told anything about that. Unfortunately, we only find out pretty much most of the same stuff at the same time as everyone else does. So if I set that to long, this is something that is new, obviously this year. You can set immersive or broadcast for your safety cars, your pit stops, or your formation laps, and it's fun. It's fun. I have raced Miami. I've just done a quick lap around there as well, actually, in a supercar, but I will go on to a Grand Prix. Let's just go as George Russell. So I've set the adaptive AI on at the moment to show that what it's like. So if you go to casual, you've got your amateur. So that is, it'll change based on how you perform. So if you do well, your AI is going to go up. If you start to struggle, then it'll go down. Obviously, beginner is if they get too far ahead, they'll automatically slow down. Or you can just set it off and set to your own level. I'll just stick it back on amateur at the moment. And we want, I'm going to turn that off because we are going to look at these all on broadcast. So we're going to take out a couple of cars. Car damage is on, collisions is on. So let's just jump straight into Miami. And we're going to purposely crash the car. And hopefully don't take ourselves out of the race, but cause a safety car. Hopefully.
We're here in the coastal shores of Florida for the Miami Grand Prix, which has become the 11th Formula One track held in the United States. The grandstands are packed for what we hope is going to be another fantastic race. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 3.36 miles of track around the Hard Rock Stadium. And 19 corners make up the Miami International Autodrome, which will challenge the drivers in a tight wheel-to-wheel race. Let's run you through the driver grid.
So yeah, I'm on controller at the moment, which makes it even worse for me.
Edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2.
Now, I believe there's still a bug. Why am I starting on pole? We've got realistic... I mean, I'm not going to complain, but I like that they've had this in there as well. There is still a bug in this where it does miss some of the people off. I don't know if I don't know if they fixed it yet in the patch, but
Latifi, Ricciardo, Lando Norris, and Lance Stroll. Vettel and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid.
So yeah, like I say, I've got all of the assists on apart from steering and racing line. Nothing really's changed here. The only thing that's really changed is it automatically selects a car setup for you. So for Miami, it suggests using increased top speed. Yeah, I know, Latifi above Albon, George Russell on pole. So this is the broadcast version of the formation lap. There is still some tweaks to the audio coming for the final edition as well, like them the commentary being below, a bit too quiet.
We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the
So I like this touch. We've got the protected pit stops, etc. So you can simulate the formation lap, or you can do it yourself. I'll show you that afterwards. So you get your whole cinematic broadcast style. It's not the full formation lap, it's just obviously the start and the end of it. But I think it's a nice little touch. Don't worry, it won't be long. It won't be long. And I'm sure you're a lot better than me as well. Oh, I've left manual start on, haven't I? No, no, no. Look, I'm trying to cause a safety car here. I took myself out, that didn't work. I'm trying to cause a safety car. Can't wait to crash my own horse into the... Yeah, same. Did I not turn on... I didn't turn on flashbacks. Wait, I'm doing this on purpose to try and show something. We're not going to reach optimal. We're going to go for it, and we're going to go straight into Perez. And then straight into... I've done it again.
Well, what happened? Let me know you're okay.
This is not going well. We're trying to look at cinematic safety cars and pit stops. Maybe we're going to do it properly. That's probably the best start that I've ever had. Until we get to the first corner at least. We're going to do our own formation lap now.
Okay,
there we go, safety car. So, at the moment, I'm still in control here. Sort of. You have some level of steering assist that comes on during the safety car, but I'm still generally in control of the car. and I have to finish the lap first. So when the safety car is deployed, you're still in control until you hit the safety car queue. And because we did it right at the start of the lap, we have to do it a full lap before we see it. I thought the steering assist was going to put me into the wall then. I really did. It is a fun track. This is my first real lap with an F1 car. I've only done it with supercars so far. I can imagine this is going to be chaos in online races. Though I suppose most circuits this style are, with the barriers very close to the track. Oh.
You're approaching the safety car. You're leading, so don't pass it. Stay behind the safety car.
Are we getting the broadcast style, or have they fixed it yet? I don't think they have. Okay. So I'm still in control then. There is still a bug in this alpha access that when you have it selected, it doesn't actually go into broadcast. Did I select it? So yeah, it should have been broadcast, but for some reason... Oh, there we go. I guess we had to wait for everyone to catch up. So now we get the broadcast safety car. So whereas in last year's game, you had to manually do it, you can now trigger that off if you want. And then you get all the cinematic style. There is an achievement for being a featured driver in this sort of screen. And obviously you can trigger this on and off between races as well, say in your career. So if there's a track you don't particularly enjoy that much and you don't really want to drive around behind a safety car, you can just flick it onto this. Unfortunately, you can't skip the safety car period. Or, you know, if you don't want to simulate trying to keep your tyres up to temperature, you don't have to. And the pit stop broadcast style is similar. It uses the TV camera angles for your pit stops. There we go. So lap 2. Still behind safety car. So I think this should now... I'll be honest, this is my first time seeing this as well. So I don't know if I can... Okay, so it's not the full thing. It does skip ahead of the lap, so you don't have to sit and watch it all the time. So there you go, I'll get control back in a couple of seconds. We're staying behind the safety car. I have not figured out a date yet. I'm waiting to speak to my doctor tomorrow to see what's going on with work.
Green flag. Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
I do get bank holidays off, yes. Who's having a funeral on a bank holiday? I probably should have had Racing Line on for this because I really do not know this track. We do have one coming up in August. I've just realised I've left my ERS on overtake the entire track as well. Wait, I think I actually have steering assist turned on. I do, because I had changed it to before. Just hit affiliate after 30 hours stream. Congratulations! Is it this that you stream? Is it F1 that you stream, or what do you normally go for? To be fair, I mean, some people can, but it costs an awful lot of money. So stream whatever I feel like. That's what we like to hear. Better than being tied down to one game. This game is very much new friendly. Ace, I am very much a poor player. Alright, Perez. I see how it is. I missed him. I missed him. Where's the pit lane? Pit lane's there. So obviously I've got pit assist on, but then you get broadcast pit stops as well. So you don't have to do anything. You get the little fancy camera angles and we're off with an 8-second stop. Because you know I have now the front wing. Okay, so I mean, did have to change my front wing, and obviously they have the updated pit stop rules in as well now as well. But yeah, it wasn't the fastest. That is something that is new into Korea though. I'm actually in a race event at the moment, so I can't show you it on there. But let me just quickly. Let's go my team. Let's set as a championship contender, 4-season recommended settings. My team icons, obviously, you get them in there as well. We'll just, yeah.
Okay, boss. First, enter a team name.
Enter team name is Test, because I'm just showing you the basics. So you've still got your same sponsors in there. Yes, I'll show the icons in a second. So we'll just go with them. Renault, Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, same as always. We'll go Renault. And there you go. You've got Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna, Alain Prost, Jacques Villeneuve, Jenson Button, David Coulthard, Felipe Massa, Nico Hulkenberg, who is a Champions Edition exclusive. Mark Webber, I believe, is also a Champions Edition exclusive. I do have it pulled up. So Villeneuve, Webber and Hulkenberg are the Champions Edition exclusives. Piastri is obviously your typical F2 drivers you can sign as well.
Like we can afford this power. Let's create the livery we'll be running this season.
Yes, we'll go with that livery. Yeah, we'll go with... I literally just want to get into the career, thank you. You can now, yes. That is something that happened in today's update for us. I know you couldn't before.
Welcome to this, a very special edition of Paddock Pass. We're here at the headquarters of Formula One's newest team for an exclusive first look at what they will be bringing to the sport. It's always an exciting moment to welcome a new team onto the grid. However, what makes this occasion a little more special is how strikingly different the cars are this year. Yep, the long-awaited new regulations are finally here, and with them, the start of the next era of Formula One. The 2022 season ushers in a change of direction to the regulations aimed at promoting closer racing, with new aero additions in the form of swooping front and rear wings, along with the new eye-catching 18-inch low-profile tyres that will push tyre technology to the limit. So then, The question remains as to whether this team can grasp the opportunity before them with both hands and lead the charge against the rest of the paddock. We'll find out soon enough, as the new season is just about to begin. But first, let's see the unveiling of the team's car and meet the owner
So,
of the brand
not
new
much has changed there with the
Formula One
intro.
team.
Obviously, just take a look around the new car. This sort of thing is the same. You get your first look at your car, but you've just designed your livery, so you know what it looks like. It's still nice to see it in the little cinematic style. And then you get the usual
First of all,
interview
thanks so
with
much for
Will
inviting
Buxton.
us here today. It's been wonderful to see behind the scenes. As you might expect, I've got about 1 million.
Yeah, let's jump
It's been
into
a
it.
long
So,
time since we last
this
saw
is
a
still
team
really
owner
the same
take
as
their own
before.
car onto the track. And let's talk about your teammate. Now, it's clear they're excited.
So
So you've
you can
been
obviously
putting a
affect
lot of work into the car.
where you start with. So let's go chassis on
Most of the other
everything.
teams can boast years of experience in Formula One. Ultimately, your success this season is going to come down to whether you can take positions from the other. And finally, with so many special.
So yeah, they're
Thank you
still
so
the same
much
at the
for
moment.
your
Yeah,
time.
it's
Been
nice
wonderful
how
to
it
get
is
an
now
insight
as
from
well.
you and of course to see around the headquarters. Thank you for today. Really appreciate it, and thank you all at home for watching as well.
You're very
We'll see you
welcome,
very
Will.
soon.
Very welcome. So obviously this is still the same. No, Will Buxton's still in the same clothes. These are still basically the same. Obviously, because you've had your livery unveiling there, you get an extra day in your season now, which is nice. Messages are still generally the same. But facilities is where we want to look at, because we have a new option here. Pit equipment. So you can upgrade your pit stops in my team. And in driver career as well, but obviously that is locked. You can't dictate what the upgrade in driver career. But I think that is a really nice addition. The rest of these are still the same as before. That's just a little addition there. Obviously your marketing in there as well. Yeah, Monaco, I hate driving Monaco. You're now not locked to individual ones. I don't know if that was in F1 2021. I can't remember if it was linear through each one, or you could just skip one and go back ahead. I haven't really looked too much at this now. I thought so. So, you know, if you wanted to, let's go powertrain, you wanted to upgrade your spark plugs first, you can do. You don't have to do the ignition system first. Yeah, it is a bit more. Obviously, you've got your progress history. So, if you select the championship contender, you start as the third best team. This is still the same as before. You can't obviously change them because they're locked in real life. These are all obviously your sponsors. There's probably a couple of new ones in here, but again, I don't really know what's on there. So yeah, Ferrari are classed as the fastest. I don't think this is the latest update yet to the teams. I think that is coming before tomorrow. So I believe this may change before the actual full update. So that's still the same. Obviously, contracts, your perks are still the same. Yeah, I don't know how Haas is there either. And one thing that I've noticed at the moment is McLaren is incredibly slow. You will see very, very often Daniel Ricciardo starting back at the grid, which I hope is something that gets fixed before the full one. Your driver market, obviously you've got your icons in there. And if we just go down, you've got free agents, all of 2021's F2 drivers on there. apart from Ryan Nasani, who is our second driver. McLaren are very slow, but not that slow as the game makes out. This is still the same. Obviously, you've still got all your customization. And then this is still basically the same. If I just go to, which one is it? Career settings. Let's just stick that to increase. So these are all still the same as well as before. Hopefully we're going to get some before this first race. No, it gets the personnel department.
The personnel department has asked us to deal with this. We have a couple of options here. Take your
So
time.
you now
What
get
you
things
decide
like
to do
this.
will have consequences.
So say if it's been hitting his stride on the simulator, you select pace, it's going to improve him obviously in pace, but some of them go over multiple weekends as well.
Not an easy decision, but you handled it well.
So let's see if we get
Thanks.
another one come up before.
I hate to drop this on you, but we could do with your expertise on this one.
Tweet Storm, okay, it's not. But yeah, some of them go over multiple weekends. So there's one event that I saw this morning where he had been in the simulator a lot. We got the option to send him for a spa day or like continue him in the simulator or whatever. And what you do can affect him going forward. There's like a charity one. You could go to a charity event, gain team acclaim, but you might miss a chassis meeting or a powertrain meeting, and that could change things in the future as well. So they could be angry at you.
Thanks.
So
I
we're
know
going to
these
fire
kinds of
him.
Decisions can be challenging, but I think we did the right
Yes,
call.
I'm going to play F1 Manager. I'm a massive Football Manager fan. So anything that goes into that much sort of detail, I love. I don't want to get another one before Bahrain to show you what I mean. We're not. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to do the race on this one because I don't really want to do this career mode. I've got one already waiting to start.
Welcome to your workstation.
Still generally the
Everything's
same
set up
in
and ready
here.
to go. I'm Ben. Anything R&D, I'm the person to talk to. Oh, and it's tradition for the team to go out for a bite to eat at the end of the race weekend.
So you can still select your recommended ones. Let's just do a couple of them. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to F1 Manager as something on my PC is a little bit something. Yes, it is that sport. It is that sport. I am an ex-player of that sport, so that is very true. But no, I'm incredibly looking forward to F1 Manager. It looks fantastic. So you still have to jump into
Hey
your
mate,
first
this is
practice
Mark.
session.
Just wanted to say thanks for trusting me as your race engineer. I won't let you
And-
down. The car's ready to go, but it's brand new, of course, so there may be a few issues here and there.
If you
We'll be
don't
keeping a
know
close eye
already,
on all the
you may
data
notice
from here.
something different. But that is no longer Jeff. We now have Mark, who is our race engineer. So you now have, obviously, the three programs as before, but now you can see telemetry graphs as well on these. So we'll just go and do one quick flying lap. I don't know. I mean, it is quite nice to have a change. Let me just turn that back down again because it is rather loud. I could turn it down in game, but now, word of caution, I am atrocious at this track as well. But we're just going to do one hot lap and then take a look at how that is. That's way too early on that corner. Oh well.
Okay,
I don't
so
have to be
down
good.
to the floor. We recommend you come in so we can make repairs.
But yeah, the curbs are a lot more unforgiving this year because of the lower ride height. As you will see, once I get round, that is atrocious as well. As long as we don't crash, that's all that really matters. don't think this curb spins you out. You'll soon see on turn 10, which is one that I always struggle on. So this curb, if you go wide onto that, you're spinning. If you manage to go straight over it, you're getting stuck on it and you have to ride that curve right to the very end. I don't know if it's going to simulate it on any other ones. It's not. This curb spins you out generally if you get stuck on that as well. But you can certainly feel the lower ride height on the cars. These sort of menus here you can't see because they're behind my head. I've just realised that. Let me move me up there for the moment. So these menus are still all the same. I believe these are still the same during the race as well. There isn't a fastest lap yet, so it doesn't tell me anything. And that was a pretty poor lap, even before I gave up on it, but back down there now. 5 minutes to repair my floor damage. That was well.
Car repairs have set us back.
So now if we go onto here, you can see, gives you all your lap time. I was on the hard, it tells you how much fuel you've used on them as well, what setup you've used, and you can go through lap by lap. Obviously I only did one. You can go through each of your programs as well, so it's just a little bit more insight as well. So if you are data driven in this game, then it's a nice little addition there. Let's just simulate this till the end. And 15 seconds off the pace in a championship contender. Let's go. Completed the game. Okay, well, I mean, I know it's only practice, but the McLarens look a lot more consistent now. K-Mag is up there as well. I love you too, Cheese.
It's time to remind ourselves of our...
Howdy. Oh, I finished my drink. We're going to sim that race. These are still all the same at the moment. Obviously, your practice programs, you complete them, you get discounts on your R&D. '17th and 18th in the third fastest car, apparently. That wasn't very good. All I want is one of these
The
events.
marketing department needs some assistance to reach a resolution here.
There we go. As a marketing would like to expand our driving merch store, like your input on what new items should include. Go for higher items such as hoodies and jackets, lower costs such as caps and flags, but you can ignore. Each have different costs.
Thanks for stepping in and helping.
But in future, this will then come back and it'll be like, well, we've done this. Are you right there, buddy? Okay. You doggo coughing. So these are your Pirelli Hot Laps as well, where you drive your supercars. You can do an average speed zone or you can do a drift. I've already touched on these briefly. I'm not going to do one on Jeddah because I really don't enjoy Jeddah that much. I mean, I suppose we could. we'll do one. So these come up before every race. There's 6 options, and you get 2 in each race. So there you go. You've got your challenge targets. We've got a section of Jeddah, and we've got 3 rounds to go. An average speed of 98 miles an hour. Sounds simple, but the second you go off the track, your lap time is invalidated. So if we go wide, we're disqualified from that attempt. So these, if I get gold, would give me 1,000 team acclaim and $1 million for my team budget. And in driver career, it gives you 1,000 driver acclaim. And we got silver there. It does appear to be very difficult with assist turned on. But we're going to take the silver. We're going to DQ this one as well. I believe it happens if you hit the wall. It doesn't happen if you hit the wall, okay. Oh no, we've gone wide. So we got silver, gives us 500 team acclaim and $50,000. Okay, it's not a million, it's $100,000. I did think $1 million was high when I said it, but again, I think that's a nice little touch to the game. You still got your quick practice as you did in 21. And if we just quickly sim this as well, I'm hoping we're going to see the outcome of that marketing event after this race, but it could be a couple of races down the line. So you really have to go into each of these department events sort of anticipating that it could have a knock-on effect in the future. Still no points for us. If it doesn't come up before this next race, I'll let you experience that yourself, because I just want to go back to Grand Prix mode afterwards.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication.
There we go. So we chose the high one. It's paid off. We've recouped enough funds and our fans like it. So a nice boost to our claim and a nice boost to cash as well. That's not going to happen every time. Sometimes it's going to fail and you're going to lose money. So it's, you know, all we did was recoup our money there as well. So that could have gone better. We could have made a nice profit. Your Pirelli hot laps you can drive at your will as well. You don't have to do it in career. You can jump in at any time and do them. Multiplayer, you still have your usual. You've got your split screen for local multiplayer. You've got your ranked play, your weekly event, which at the moment is Great Britain. Nobody's done a qualifying lap yet, obviously, and social play. Again, I never raced online on 2021, so I don't know if this is new. But you got your beginner friendly, which is F1 2022. You got one shot qualifying, 5 laps, and collision to disabled. Your experience, which again is one shot, 25% race, and strict corner cutting. You can create your own custom one, or you can browse. Again, there's no online games happening at the moment, as you'd expect. But custom one, you can do it how you want. And I believe there's cross-platform as well this year, so you know, I could play with you if you're on PC or if you're on PlayStation. But again, you can just customize that however you want. You can add your AI. You've got your option of leagues again. Which I think was in... Oh, it's down in the bottom corner. Leagues. So you can go and set up your own leagues. You can obviously find leagues. You can be in multiple leagues. It's all fun in games. And that's something that I might do at some point. Let's once again go to Monza because it's a track that I enjoy driving. Let's be Lando. And it's not that one. But we will put flashbacks back on in case I ruin it again. Immersive pit stop. Stick all them to immersive. And go and take a look at a
Welcome one and all.
a formation lab. So we're starting 19th. Only Albon behind us. Brilliant.
We're not seeing any technical issues coming off the practice starts. Watch the RPM on the full start. We don't want you to bog down.
So this is sort of the same as before you do your formation lap. And you've got to manage your brakes and tyre temperatures. I am playing this early because I'm part of the F1 creator the EA creator network even. So they're giving us early access to the early access of the game. Oh. So it doesn't really matter how slow you go on your formation lap. I don't know if it affects them at front, or if once they're on the grid their temperatures are sort of locked. I do think once the full game comes out and the actual, you know, the full patch is done, they will probably add in a distance that you're allowed to be behind on the formation lap, because for me this is ridiculous that I'm allowed to be this far behind. I think that will change, but again we're still not on the full release yet, so there is things that will be changing for the release tonight or tomorrow, depending where you are in the world. And this is where normally it would take control off you, but now you have to slot into your own grid slot.
Okay,
We got it perfect. How about that?
Nice one. That's going to give you the edge if you can get a good launch as the race starts.
Definitely haven't been practicing that all morning. We're going to do an immersive pit stop as well. That's a terrible start.
Okay, we can take you this
It's not
lap.
that bad on the second phase, but... So we're going to box first lap. Doesn't really matter what we do here. We just don't want to get taken out of the race. That's... So we're going to let everyone disappear off ahead of us. I've just realised that once it actually comes to play my career, with the adaptive AI I've got set on, the first race is going to be really easy because I'm just letting everyone go ahead and do everything. McLaren 1920, that's not a great sight, is it, for any McLaren fans? I got distracted. Shouldn't read my phone or read chat while driving. I'm playing early because I'm part of the EA Creator Network, so we've been given early access to the game. So you'll see that there is me and a few others on Twitch or YouTube at the moment that have our hands on the game. It's because we're some of the very lucky ones that EA have handpicked. So go for it. I'm going to turn in. Could have been better. So there you get a prompt come up, you have to press it to turn in.
Okay, that was a fairly decent stop.
The better you are, the quicker your stop is. So obviously if you missed out or you're really early, you turn in wrong,
Okay,
your pit stops are going to be longer than
we'll receive a penalty for dangerous
obviously if you get it
driving off the
perfect.
track.
Up on screen is just a little bit of Miami featuring the immersive formation lap and the broadcast version of the safety car. If you do want to see some more F1 22 content, come and follow me over
Welcome
on
to
Twitch.
the
The
Magic
link
City.
will be
We're here
in
at
the
the Miami
description down
International.
below. We'll be doing a bit of my career on there as well as some other games
Okay, here we
as
go.
well.
I know what you can do.
But
Don't
thank
let
you
me down.
so much to EA for giving me early access to the game, and hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. I'll leave you with some F1 content.
Okay, so let's go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs. Clutch bite is good.
The formation lap is an opportunity to practice your race start and put some energy through your tyres and brakes to get them up to the optimal temperature for the beginning of the race. When the light goes green, pull away from the grid and stay in position, making sure to keep your car in.
The box is responding normally. Make sure to warm up the tyres and brakes. Warm the tyres and brakes throughout the lap, please. No rain expected. No rain expected for the time being. Decent parking. Let's try and get a good launch as the lights go out. Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those lights.
There's a huge amount of time to be won and lost in the pits, but ensure that you don't get too greedy as you approach the pit lane speed limit line. On the approach, you'll see a notification of the pit lane speed limit and your distance to the limit line. If you cross this threshold too fast, you'll be given a speeding penalty, so be careful. There are valuable tenths to be won by getting it right though, so leave your braking as late as you dare. At the pit exit, it's important not to cross onto the race.
All right, over to you, mate. Down to you.